Hi, and welcome back to the Kat and Anna show.
Hello, 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 drum roll.
I'm Kat, and
I'm
she's Anna. And today we have a special visitor, a guest, Marissa Davies from all the way from New Zealand, right?
Correct.
Yeah, good. And Marissa, you are working in a specific area, in a specific niche that is chronic pain control, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And why did you choose to work in that?
I am very I think I have a very academic, a very logical brain. And before I chose pain, I worked in many areas. For instance, abundance. I helped a lot of people develop a mindset for abundance. And it was lovely because, they would come, to me and tell me, that they made more money, that they won small amounts in lottery, and that their money lasted long. So I loved that story. But the reason I chose to leave working in that context is that I had no scientific evidence that my work was influencing people's access to abundance. So when I was younger, I've always had lots of dental problems since I was like age 5, and it has followed me through life. And so I saw the dentist far more times than most people on the planet.
Oh my God, you don't want to see the dentist too much.
No, you don't.
No, I don't mind. Despite the cost, I can use hypnotherapy and get rid of the pain. And I can, I spend 1 or 2 hours in the dentist and I can't feel a thing. So that's really great. But at the time, I didn't know hypnotherapy. I was much younger. And I always had so I went to fix one problem and another one emerged and another one. And the dentist always told me, said, first, I want you to cut all sugar off your diet. Second, I want a good hygiene, good technique, and I did that. And third, don't go taking all the medication that you can find around, and don't do anything, because if you come here and if you go and see the priest and ask for a prayer and you dance some tribal dance and you believe that one is going to fix your pain, and if you do this and this and that, you won't know what resolved it. And that was my problem with abundance, because my clients went and did everything. So, and I wondered, was it hypnotherapy that fixed it, or was it something else? So it was lovely. I still stay in contact with these amazing people. They are really, really good, earning top dollar, a lot more than me, because their goal was to earn top dollar. I have different goals.
And just having her dogs, they want to.
I see the dog is taking part.
Yeah. She loves it.
Well, someone actually rang the bell.
Uh-oh.
You see, it wants to just bring the dog in.
Yeah. I'll mute myself and go have a look. You just go on with the podcast.
So I'm more than happy. Yeah. I'm more than happy with the dog. Being part of it. There is always a reason. Yeah, I believe in that. So with pain, what I found was there were a lot of psychiatrists and general medicine doctors involved in it. And because these people were registered with a medical council, I felt more confident. And I thought, if these people are managing pain, are producing papers, then I'm 100% sure that they will have a way to demonstrate scientifically that hypnotherapy helps eliminate or reduce pain.
Yeah.
And that's how I chose to work in pain. And it's just amazing.
It's just amazing. And just to help people to eliminate the pain, and then to live the life they actually deserve to live. Yeah.
It works like magic. I still can't explain how it works.
And that's it. We don't understand how it works, but it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are some MRIs, which is, brain imaging, that shows that some parts of the brain become altered during hypnotherapy, and that alteration is seen as what is caused by hypnotherapy, but we really don't really know what's happening in the brain. And the first time that I chose to use hypnotherapy for myself, I was actually, in this area of pain, I was actually at the dentist. So there is a guy here in Wellington. He's called Andrew Hardwick. Andrew had a long history as a nurse, and now he's a practitioner, general practitioner of hypnotherapy. So I went to Andrew and said, Andrew, I have a lot of fillings in dental repair to do, and I would like to use hypnotherapy instead of anesthetics or numbing of any kind that's chemical. And Andrew trained me for that session. So he delivered a session for me and asked me to repeat that every night. And I did.
Wow.
And 28 days later, I was at the dentist. And I told her I was going to see a hypnotherapist, that I didn't want anesthetic or anything. So when I sat in the chair and she said to me, where's your hypnotherapist? I said, he couldn't make it, but I'm already done. So just to start when you were ready.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I opened my mouth and, and I was still listening to the recording that Andrew gave me. And the more they touched my mouth, the more numb it became. And I was feeling so happy. It was such a delicious feeling, because many years in my life, I struggled with dental pain. So I jumped from one dentist to another, and I blamed them all. They were the bad guys. I was the good one.
Who in his right mind wants to be a dentist?
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
And this time, the dentist did whatever she needed to do, and she said to me, there are some feelings that are really, really deep, and they are very close to the canal. And I said, just go for it. I couldn't feel a thing.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
It was over 1 hour. Yeah. So it was over 1 hour, 1 hour 15, 1 hour 20 minutes.
And afterwards, did you feel any pain afterwards?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was like I had gone to the dentist just to have hair, squirting something in my mouth and gone away.
Wow.
That's amazing, huh?
Yeah, nothing.
It really is.
And so when I finished the procedure, I was actually on a high. I was so happy that I didn't need I didn't need those prickles in my mouth, and I did. So I got on the phone and I rang. I said, Andrew, I just finished it. I didn't feel a thing. And the worst was that he gave me the suggestion also that I was not going to see or feel time pass. So I was there for well over 1 hour. And I asked her, what's the time? I think I started at 12 o'clock. It was 11:20, I think. I can't remember. I think it was 11:20. And I asked her, what's the time? And she said, it is 1:15 p.m. And I looked at the clock, and it was. And I'm thinking 5 minutes had passed. Yeah, so even now, from 11:20 to 12:20, it was well over 1 hour. 1 hour 15 minutes. Really,
I want to go to the dentist.
I do too. It was like that. It was so amazing. Yes, I'll share with you my knowledge. It's so simple and basic. There's nothing.
Oh, I think there's a lot of people that could really benefit from this. Huh?
Yeah,
definitely. People who are scared of dentists as well. Because what happens with me was when I was a little girl, you see, people didn't have as much knowledge as they have nowadays of the human body, how it works and what makes good, what makes it worse. And so I lived near a river, because the city where I lived in Brazil, in the state of Sao Paulo, was built around the river. And it was a big, magnificent river. And this river was called Paraíba. And I lived very near the margins of the river. And when I was born, I had a lot of lung problems. It was all sorts of lung infection. So all diseases of the lung that ended with itis, I had it. Bronchiolitis, bronchitis, and all the itis that you could add to the lung, I had it.
Oh, man.
And it was, many children had it in Brazil, especially in the state of Sao Paulo, because there's high humidity levels there.
Yeah.
And living near a river made it a million times worse. So my poor mom took me to the doctor over and over and over. And one day I stopped responding to antibiotics. It was the only medication they had, painkiller and antibiotics. And losing weight like crazy, not having appetite. So one day my mom turned up to the doctor, and the doctor said, hug her, kiss her, cuddle her, do everything you want with her, because she's not going to be with us for her next birthday. It was only like a few months away.
I'm getting goosebumps.
God. Yeah, me too.
Can you imagine? I have no idea how my mom survived that.
Oh, that's horrible.
I was the only child. I was the only child too.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like my poor mom. So that's what she did. And they also said to her, well, she's not responding to any medication. So if you feel like, just give her a strong coffee with milk and sugar. That might help activate her lungs. So guess what my mom did? Coffee. She was 2.5-years-old. I don't know how I didn't have a heart attack. That a huge amount of caffeine.
And sugar.
And sugar, yeah.
And sweet. Really sweet. So I go, and then an interesting thing happened. When I survived though, I got to age 3 and then got to age 4 and got to age 5. And precarious health, but hot and totally hooked on caffeine and sugar.
Yeah.
Give me more. Yeah.
And yes, after all that time, somehow it was manageable. My illness was manageable. All my illnesses were manageable.
Yeah.
But then I had a terrible, really, really terrible mouth, because, from that age, I was just creating an environment for tooth decay. So I had horrific tooth decay.
Yeah.
And even to today, the dentist, I go to the dentist, they look at my mouth and say, I know you worked really hard to keep those teeth. And I said, don't count the ones that I lost.
But Marissa, what about the clients you have? What do they come to you for? Why do they come to you?
For a lot of things, for all sorts of pain. So there is a chronic pain that is the most popular. So people usually they have an accident. It starts with an accident of some kind. Either people suffer an accident, like if they're riding a bike, they fall off the bike, damage a muscle, and then that pain remains well after the healing has happened. And there are people also who are victims of other people's accidents. Like there was I knew a person who went to a medical procedure and it went wrong, and that medical procedure caused horrific pain. So, and people who are victims of accidents called by other people, that is the hardest to cope with.
Yeah.
So these people come to see me, and it's usually one session and it's done and over with. I love that. It's so rewarding. It's the
Yeah.
It
best.
is. Eh?
It really is, because it can feel a bit heavy when they come to see
Mm,
you, because they are in pain, or
yeah,
whatever reason they might come to you for. But
definitely.
afterwards, to see the relief,
Yeah,
to see the feeling of feeling lighter and
yeah.
more relaxed, it's just, yeah.
That's amazing, huh?
It is. I love working with people who are in hospital. Quite a few of them ring me and they say, listen, I'm here. The nurses said that I am at risk. I could have this, this, and that, and die instantly. And no, there's no medication. It takes me back to my childhood. Really, there's no medication that's working. My blood pressure is very high. My heart rate is high. I don't know what to do. And for these people, if they are in the hospital and they are struggling, I just say, no, just give me 20 minutes. I'll find time for you, and I do.
Yeah.
Do you do it like online, or are you actually going to the hospital and do it face to face with them?
Online, mostly online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to the hospital if they are locally, but it's mostly
Yeah. Okay.
online.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And people are sitting there and they are attached to a big machine beeping, and you can see all the vital signs in the machine, and you wonder, really, this is really serious,
Mm.
And I just tell them, just, can you sit down and relax? And they can. And 20 minutes later, you look at the machine and everything is dropping
Wow.
a lot.
Yeah, that's the great part, that you can see a drop, that you can see that they're getting better right away.
Yeah,
Actually
immediately.
measure it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It is so rewarding, it is really rewarding. And I do a lot of this work.
So then you have your scientific proof, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because they are not doing anything else.
No.
They're listening to my voice.
Yeah.
And it's really good. And then one thing that often people ask is that, what if it comes back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I say to them, it's not coming back. You might find another problem, but that one is done with. And they say, are you sure? And I said, I'm 100% sure everyone I worked with never came back. But just in case you don't believe it and you're feeling not sure, my details are online and you can contact me anytime. I'll be there for you immediately, because I am in this conditions that we need to be there for them regardless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
And it's just amazing. I feel like, wow, I've done, I made a difference today. It is really lovely. Yeah. And there are the people who have other types of pain that it's not going to go away. For instance, cancer pain. It's very difficult to get rid of, a pain that's caused by cancer, because it's usually a degenerative illness and it just keeps growing. And I say to people, everything is possible. Absolutely everything is possible to us. But some people have decided that it's their time to go, then they will go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but some people decide, no, it's not my time to go. I refuse to go. I'm going to find a solution. And then they stop the growth of the cancerous cells. I don't know how it happens, but it does happen. And the other thing too that I always take into account is people's, is longevity. We are supposed to live to early 100. Early 100s. That's, scientifically is what we know. But, there are stories in, religious books that people lived to 800 years.
Wow.
So I don't know how much
That's more like vampire.
Yeah.
Are you a vampire?
No real people. No real people.
Yeah.
They
Real
on
people.
the Bible tells the story of Methuselah,
Yeah.
who lived.
I was actually thinking of Methuselah right away. Think, oh yeah, I know one.
There are some textbooks in Sanskrit as well that there were people who lived 1,000 years. So I have no idea. I wasn't there. There is no scientific ways to measure time. Maybe, who knows, how many days their years had. I have no,
Yeah.
on Earth, it's 365. That's when we started, counting with the calendar that we have today. But regardless, I think the mind is limitless. And if we want to live forever, we'll find a way.
Yeah.
There is a way.
Sure.
But
everything that's imaginable is possible.
Nowadays, there's so many people that are looking into, what was it, re-younging, or at least, reusing, but at least to just get your exactly.
And we'll get there.
Of course.
Because
of course.
Do you remember, I don't know if you've seen it, but once upon a time when I was a child, there was a cartoon called The Jetsons.
Ago.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Jetsons.
The Jetsons, yeah.
Yeah. And the Jetsons lived in space or something, and they had a big screen, and they could call someone somewhere else, and they came onto that TV, and I was like, yeah, right. And what are we doing right now?
Yeah, exactly.
So everything is a thought.
Yeah.
And they might have seen it on television, or the person who created that show just had an idea. I never thought of anything else of it. And then there was another one looking at it and saying, like, I want to create that.
Yeah.
So
someone had to have the idea, huh?
Yeah. I totally believe in that. Anything that's manageable, anything that your mind can conceive, you can turn into reality. There is no doubt about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's too much of it to say, no, it's just a random coincidence. It's not. We create things with our thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, yes. What are we going to create, ladies?
I'm creating lots of stuff I don't want. I need to switch it, so I create stuff
but you do want.
I made up my mind already.
I know what I want.
So can you imagine a colony of ants? Lots and lots of ants carrying, which one carrying a leaf that's much heavier than they are? I believe that my burdens in life, my challenges in life are just like that leaf, it's far much bigger than me. I mean, just seeing a patient in a hospital having their blood pressure go down like that, just with the power of the words that I use. To be honest, I don't even know exactly what I'm saying, because we also get hypnotized as we hypnotize people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so that is my leaf, it's far much in what I do, but whatever I'm doing is working for other people. Now, for me, I'm that little ant who is there carrying a massive leaf to the colony. And my massive leaf is going to help create a utopia. So soon, I may not even be on the planet anymore, but soon there'll be no famine, there'll be no war, there'll be no disease, there'll be no dying, unless it is intentional and wanted. And there'll be no social problems. We are walking towards a utopia, and technology is helping us big time. So that's my job. And I'm already creating it by doing hypnotherapy.
I love that. I love
me
that.
Too.
Really.
I didn't think of it that way before, but
Exactly. Yeah. This is
more,
actually quite an eye-opener.
Yeah, it is, because more and more people are into healing, hypnotherapy, also coaching, but the places where you can help people transform within and without. And when we can do that, we can help create a world that is more aligned with love and with caring and with joy and
exactly.
I like that.
That's profound, actually. Yeah.
It is, yes, we have, you see, a health system that is very old-fashioned, very, very old-fashioned. And there are many, many health professionals who are there to change it. You see, up to the 1800s, when the age of reason and illumination emerged, we didn't have the health system that we have today. So people were sick, they were either treated by their family, or if they have a contagious disease, they would go for a kind of asylum and they stayed there until death. There's hardly any treatment.
Yeah.
And then at the age of reason, the medical doctors emerged, and many other health professionals, nurses, psychologists, and all sorts. But that system of health was for acute illnesses. So let's say people broke their legs, they ran to the hospital, got a cast on, and that was it. Or sometimes in those times, in the early 1800s, there was a lot of amputation. So people got run over by, an animal, or, they would go and cut their legs off and stay there until they recovered, and off they go. Infectious diseases like typhoid, they would go get fixed and go. Now we don't have so much of that anymore, because vaccination eradicated many of those diseases, like polio. Polio is rare disease nowadays, and many others.
Well, now we've got monkeypox.
Yes, but it will be destroyed because we have the ability to get rid of the bugs. It's easy. I mean, COVID-19, what happened? So it was supposed to be a deadly disease, kill most people on the planet. What's happened? People are dreaming. Yes, it's gone. I think it's gone already. But what we have now are chronic diseases. And unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, because the medical profession doesn't have the power to eradicate it. It's very sad. But let's not focus on the sad. Let's see what is possible to do. So with chronic illnesses like diabetes, there is a lot of medicines and drugs and pills and potions that lowers the blood sugar levels. But that is, I would say, it's unnatural, because in the first place, we should be able to prevent it from happening. Because the body has its own natural balance. We don't, if we eat the proper things, most of us will not have diabetes. I'm talking about the type 2, because there is a type 1 that is more congenital. The person is born. Or develops, as a result of an illness or whatever. It can be managed. But type 2 is far too often, you see them far too often, far too common. It's not a good thing, because it's an illness. The other, cancers. You see, in the 1960s, I remember, my family saying, "Oh, so-and-so died of old age." Now, old age means cancer.
Oh, okay,
So there is a lot of medication out there also. Very few of them prevent cancer. There is one that prevents the papilloma virus, which is a vaccine, but the vast majority, there is no vaccine against that cancer, because these cancers are a result of lifestyle, really. But one day, we are going to find a way to stop these cancers from emerging in the first place by changing diet, lifestyle, the way we use our minds, and it will be gone. But while this doesn't happen, the current medical system, the current health systems all over the world, I'm talking about all the countries that are part of the United Nations, all the countries that are part of the World Health Organizations, we are in a mess, in terms of health system, we are in a mess. It doesn't matter which rich country or poor country you are in, it's a real mess. It's not set up for chronic diseases. That's how I see it. That's my personal opinion. But that is going to change as well. We just need to stay on a positive level. We need to motivate and encourage research. We need to trust that whoever is there working, and they work like a dog, all health professionals, medical staff, doctors, nurses, whatever specialty, they work like dogs. They really do. Because
They do.
Yeah, it is hard work. Eh?
Yeah.
And with so many
Eventually.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so
And
many times.
sometimes the hospitals don't even have the capacity to see all the people that go there. That's
Yeah.
even more
True.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So for me, I strongly believe that we have to love and respect these professionals and give them a lot of support so that they can do more research and they can come up with alternatives.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do so that we can all walk towards a utopia where there is no disease, because we are going to focus on the prevention. I know it's
Sounds
going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, we first have to go through this difficult time, and then in a few years we'll step into
Hopefully.
a different kind of time. Huh?
In a few years, hopefully. Could be more.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Artificial intelligence is, developing at a very, very fast speed.
Yeah.
And I love it because
Yeah.
that's going to be one of the most important elements of healing our people, healing our societies, even on all levels. Many years ago, I was doing research on mass psychogenic illness, or mass hysteria, it was known by. And I came across some articles that said that 90% of our illnesses have an emotional basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe
The
too.
emotion. Yeah. So if we change those emotions, we get rid of the illness.
True.
Yeah.
There was
That's
also
what we see.
There was an article published in the UK saying that I don't know where this library is, but I can come and I can bring it out if you guys want it. There was an article showing that in relationships at work, the more powerless a person felt, if that powerlessness was connected somehow with a feeling of oppression, that would trigger some kind of illness. Typical chronic illness like high blood pressure, diabetes. Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
We really need to take care of ourselves. We really need to, if something feels off, if we feel like it's uncomfortable to feel like this, we need to work faster and I can't speak today, and address it instead of just trying to ignore it, or things will go or work out, or because suddenly it can, it can
accumulate.
Yeah, in the body.
Yeah. It does.
We're so good.
Yeah, we are. That's why we're together.
Yeah, and stay like that.
Yeah.
Wow, Marissa, it sounds awesome what you do, and I love that you do it in hospitals as well. That it's really, it's effective and it's working, and you can see it while you're sitting there, and they can feel it, and it's just, wow. Yeah, such a difference.
So how can people reach you if they want to talk to you or get a session or?
I'm on social media. I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook. That's I'm on all social media, but these ones are the ones that people find me to connect with me. So normally people call me Marissa from Brazil because I was born in Brazil. And I still have my accent, that I nurture my accent.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you should.
Yeah.
I've been here for decades, but I still like to speak with an accent.
Yeah,
so
I do that.
Because, people don't remember my name. I said, oh, that woman from Brazil.
Great.
And So they can go there, but I do have a blog site. It's marissadavies.com, and Davies is Davies. Marissa has 2 S's. Yeah, they will find me, and I'm also listed on Google. So I do work on pain. I tell everyone pain is what I enjoy working. I can help people do lots of things, but pain is my favorite because I can I feel rewarded, and I'm sure that it's my work that is influencing pain.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll put your links in the description in the YouTube video if you would.
Lovely. That would be nice. Thank you so much.
Good.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
This is really illuminating.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's your energy, guys. I got a lovely positive energy, and it's just it spreads. And I really enjoyed spending time this time with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just can't stop thinking of the teeth and the dentist. And no medication. I'm like,
I want to go to the dentist.
Yeah. So again, thank you, Marissa.
Thank you very much for joining us. And bye.